Welcome back, everyone. We are looking at this Noise Ninjas project, and this is the third part on the tutorial where we will be actually working on the catalog pages. Earlier, we have refactored the project. Complete project was refactored so that we could easily make more changes later on, and those are the changes now we are going to discuss about. So, the first important change is the home catalog. So, as you can see, I have added another home catalog element in here, and this home catalog is going to be our component inside the views, and this is our home catalog. So let me take you one by one. So the first thing what we have done is that we have imported a store known as use catalog store. Now this is again a Pinia store, and if I take you through the catalog Pinia store, it is similar to our last social store. It has nothing. This time it has name, image and link, the name of the track, the image and the link. Now, if you see that this image is looking quite different. Now, why is that? Because I have used a image service to host all our images from now on, and that image service in this one is going to be ImageKit. Let me show you what is ImageKit as well. ImageKit. So, ImageKit is basically it helps us to deliver media in a very good format. So when I talk about format, what it means is that ImageKit will handle all the width, height, and everything according to its own, so that when we are pulling the image, it is going to be in a very so I have uploaded a very high quality, and when it's going to pull formatted a very small size image that is going to look good on that device. So if the width is, for example, 1000 pixels, and we only need to show it for 500 pixels, so that it will now ImageKit, since it is in between our media storage and our website. So ImageKit is going to transform those images to the size that is required on the website that will look good. So the original image, if it's like 1 MB or 2 MB, the transform image is going to be like 100 KB ish. So it is much better for the performance wise. And we don't have to manage these sizes on our own. Hence, the solution like ImageKit or ImGix or Cloud CDN, I think Cloud CDN, I'm not sure of the name. But yeah, there are many solutions out there that help us to transform our images in a very good format. Yeah, so yeah, I would recommend everyone to use this service. Okay, so coming back to our code, yes, you can see that now I have added, this is nothing but a transformation. Like by transformation, I have added like automatically it should detect the width as well as the display pixel ratio automatically. And then it's our folder structure where I have actually saved the image inside the ImGix asset management library. So yeah, nothing more than that. And after that, yeah, there is again a name, image, link of all the catalog images. And let me also show you a new file that I've added. This file is known as .env. Now this env file, first of all, the env is an environment file which is going to be used only in local development. Okay, this file is not going to be checked out in Git system. So this file is only going to be used in our local system. Now I have added a variable known as CDN host. So as I've told you, I have used ImageKit. So it is going to be ImageKit / Noise Ninja. This is the actual CDN host, which is going to serve our images. Why I have done that? So in future, if I want to change it, I can very easily do so by the environment variable itself rather than making hard changes in the code. Now, how to access this environment variable? So firstly, we will go to the Nux config folder, and in the config folder, we have to add these lines. Nux runtime config. In runtime config, I'm talking about the public variables, and publics I have added a variable known as CDN, and in that I have given it process.env.cdn host. Now, when we deploy this website, for example, if we are deploying it on Vercel, like I'm doing here, so in that there is an option of environment variables in the settings, and in that settings, I have to add this variable and its value. Now, this environment variable also help us in many other ways. For example, if my local environment variable is going to be different than a production. For example, if I'm working on a very big project and the CDN host is going to be completely different for the development and the production. So yeah, it helps a lot. So it's always a good practice to use environment variables for as many things as possible, because you don't have to, so even if something changes, you don't have to make these hard code those changes, right? And it makes the job so much easier. Okay, coming back to the catalog. So this is a catalog store, and then this is a runtime config. This is why we are using this runtime config to pull our environment variable. So I have added in constant config. Now let me take you one by one to the code. So the first thing is that the outer div, the first div is going to be flex. Why have flex? Because I want the content inside of it, it's going to be centered. Firstly, I have given it complete width, and then I've added justify center again to justify the content, and the background is going to be black. Now, why I have used this additional parent? The reason for that is I want to use the full width for all the devices which are not going to be desktop. By desktop, I mean the large screen sizes like 4K screen sizes. For that, the screen size is going to be so big. Like if I want to make my catalog or any other thing visible in a grid format, so it is going to take up a lot of space, which is not going to look good. So what I want is that I only want to use a certain portion of the screen and let the other portion go blank. In that way, our whole content is centered. Just since I have added a justify center, our whole content is going to be centered, and the left and right side portions are going to be empty. That is a very good practice when you're dealing with very large screen sizes. And for the screen size that are not going to be large, we are going to use full width. So this is only for the screen size that are 2XL. So these are very extra large, right? And in this, I have used this tailwind variable, which is known as width. Width is going to be 8 by 12. So if we divide the screen by in 12 equal parts, so it is going to take only 8 parts. So yeah, this is a good way to make our content smaller, right? And since I've added justify width, so these 8 parts are going to be completely centered. And I have added margin Y16 so that from the top and the bottom, there's going to be a margin of 16. So the next thing, wait, let me collapse and expand it again. So the next is going to be first this div. This div now, the content inside is going to be two things. One is title and one is grid of catalog. So this title and the grid of catalog. The title is nothing but a div which is like by default is going to be 4 rem. Rem is a unit. Is a unit which is a by default unit with CSS. And as you can see, this is 4 rem or it translates to 64 pixel, but we don't have to worry about that. Then for medium screen sizes, we are going for 6 rem, and for large screen sizes, we are going large screen and above, we are going for 8 rems. So our content is completely responsive on all screen sizes. Apart from that, we are going to be bolding our font. There's going to be white text, and tracking white is basically the space between the letters. So this way is going to be music, and after that, let's talk about the grid, the catalog grid. So the catalog grid, what I want is that there's going to be a simple grid of images, and when you click on one image, it's going to take me to their respective link. Now firstly, I've added a margin top of 16, then I have started the grid. I have by default is going to be grid column 1. So for mobile, it's going to be one column, only one item per line per row. And for medium screen sizes, it's going to be 2, and for large, it's going to be 4. And I've added a gap of 8 between the items of the grid. Now the tag is going to be a tag. The a tag is going to be the link. We have added a v for like we have previously done. So this v for is going to take the store.details, the catalog details, and each catalog we are going to iterate through each catalog one by one. By key, it's going to be name. So I could have removed this key, and I don't even need the name right now, but in future if I do need, so it will help me. Then that's why I have not I have kept the name for now. And again, this key is, although redundant, it can work, it can't work, but again, good practice. Then Harif is going to be a link, and the target is going to be blank. Why? So that it can open in a new page. Now let's talk about these classes. But before I first talk about this class, let me finish it, because this class is going to talk about the motions, since I have added more motions in this. So yeah, let me take you through that one by one. So inside it is going to be image. Image SRC is going to be, first I'm going to take the CDN, then slash and that image path, so that I can make the complete URL. Alternate tag is nothing, and the class is going to be, it has a 64 of size. The if size is also 64, this is also 64. I can remove the top one, it doesn't matter, but yeah, let's keep it for now. Okay, then the object cover, so that image is going to be cropped beautifully. I have rounded the corners to 2XL. I have added a border of 2 and made it white. And now I have added a transition. Why I needed a transition? I will talk to you one by one. I will show you the demo first, and then I will show you why we need that. So let me open it. And if I take it to the music, now if you see, whenever I hover over each of them, it's going to be translated. It's going to scale up, right? How are we achieving this? We have our inbuilt Tailwind classes for that. So that classes, the name of first thing we have to add is transition. It signifies that, okay, there's going to be a transition. For transition, there's going to be a duration of 300 milliseconds. For 300 milliseconds, that transition should occur. And before starting the transition, we are adding a delay of 150 milliseconds. Now, all these things can be customized according to you, the duration, the delay, as per you like. Nothing fancy on that. So after that, this is the main thing. So hover is going to be a Tailwind class. What it does is that whenever I hover over an item, only then it is going to take into the account whatever I give it the next. So when I hover, only then scale it to 110, so 110%. When I hover, scale it to 110%. When I hover, change the border to green 400. So by default, the border is white, but only when I hover, change the border of green to 400. So again, let's take it back. So when I hover, change the green. When I hover, scale it up to 110, change it to green. So this is one way. Now let's going back to the A tag and all these intersections. For that, what I want is that whenever I scroll down first time, so let me reload the page, and this animation as well, I will talk to you about. I have also made changes to this one. So when I scroll down, as you can see that this is a blur effect. It is going to be scaling up from nothing to 100%, and there is a blur effect in the start, and there is going to be in its original size. Let me show you once again. Yeah, when I scroll, so to achieve this, we have to use a Tailwind intersect library, and I have added the package, the Tailwind intersect. Now, although this Tailwind intersect should work perfectly on its own, we also have to add an observer, but for some reason it was not working very well for me. Since it was not working very well for me, I have to do some R&D, and what worked for me is that I have to add a plugin. Now, this plugin, Tailwind intersect, you can name it anything. This is a plugin. Plugin is a part of Nuxt itself, and anything that comes under this plugin folder is going to be automatically loaded by the Nuxt. So we don't have to worry about it at all. And this name could be anything. I have just made it Tailwind intersect, so it is going to be much more easier to understand what that plugin does. And that plugin is doing nothing but in the head tab, in the head of our HTML, we are just adding a script SRC, and this SRC is going to point to this Tailwind intersect dist observer.mate. So this is very simple way, very old way of how we actually use script tags to add the JavaScript in our HTML. So yeah, this is a fancy way to doing that, and it should be working even without that. By doing the npm install Tailwind intersect package, it should. Some reason it was not. And we also, in the Tailwind config file, we also have to require this Tailwind intersect. And yeah, that is the way this is working for me. I have done an R&D in a very simple way. It should only work by installing in the packages bun add Tailwind CSS intersect, and it should work out of the box. but it was not, so I have to do this R&D myself. But for you guys, if you tried it, if it works out of the box for you, great. If it doesn't, I have given you a way how it can. Right. So for that, let me talk about the classes. For that, first we have to add a intersect once. What intersect once is that? Only when I scroll down, only do this motion once. That's it. That was the intersect once means. So first time it intersected when I scroll down, first time it intersects, only add start the motion. Don't do it multiple times. If you want to do multiple times, every time we scroll up and down, there is also different classes for that, and you can look at the Tailwind intersect package and you will get all the details on that. Now we have to add various motions to it. This entire thing, motions, I have actually uses another library. Sorry, I forgot to mention that library. That library was more important, which is known as, to achieve all this motion. I have used a Tailwind. What was that? Sorry, Tailwind CSS motion library. Let me show you that as well. So actually the name is Rombo Animations. Rombo Animations for Tailwind, and it uses Tailwind. It has a name of Tailwind CSS motion as a package name. And if you go through this website, you will actually understand how this all motion things works. And they have the default presets available. And if you don't want to use the default presets, what you can do is that, see, I have dragged the square and it has translated. And then what I've done is that, let me do scale 0, and I have added blur of 50. So this is how my animation on, let me do it 2000 milliseconds. This is what actually happening. Nothing more fancy than this. So, and doing all this, this is the animation that I got, and this library or the rombo.co page has given this thing for us to play with, and after playing, they have given all the classes to us. We have to just copy these classes and paste it into our file. Nothing else. So I have done the same. I have copied it, I have pasted it here, but after pasting, I have also added this Tailwind intersect colon in front of everyone. Why I have done that? So that it signifies for every motion, like, okay, this should only work when it's going to be intersecting, right? And that's where this intersect class comes into play. If I don't do it, it will happen when the first time page loads and the motion has already been done. So when I scroll down, I will only see a normal page, right? There will be nothing fancy that is going to be happening. So if you want me to show it, I will show you as well. So I have removed this intersect for now. And if I go back and see, now that animation is already played out, and this what happens. If I reload this page and stay at here, you will see this motion is happening. But since I have not added the intersect part, what was happening is that motion was happening the first time the page is loaded, and when I scroll down, nothing happens. The intersect part helps us in this regard, is that only start this motion when I scroll down to that element, or that element is first visible. That's how our Tailwind intersect class. So in this whole way, this is a very basic catalog that we have added. And yeah, I also have to show you this top part, what I have made the changes in the hero section. So home hero. Yeah. So in the home hero latest, nothing. I have added a preset of pulse again from Tailwind Motion. I have added a preset of pulse MD. So it is going to pulse, right? Like this is doing, it is pulsing. I have added a duration of 2000 milliseconds. Yeah, nothing more. And I've added various sizes. It was already there or it was not, I'm not sure. Okay, anyways, I have added various sizes based on screen sizes. And after that, this is our image which was already there. And the button, and this button, I have made some changes. I have changed the image of this button. I have added a new SVG image. And apart from that, I have added a gradient to right, which is from green 600 to green 950. and then there is going to be a transition. So as you can see, a transition, the same transition as we are doing here. This is the same transition. This is the same transition we are doing here. And we have added a border of white. This is a border white. It's of 2 size, and again this is a different sizes and 2 pixels itself. Okay, and we have added a dashed border, and on hover, again on hover we are adding the scale of 125, and we are on hover we are also changing the gradient, and our font is semi bold, and our tracking is whiter. Tracking is again the space between the letters. Yeah, so this is all there to it. So we have added the catalog itself. The catalog is working. If we click on any link, it is taking us to the new page. So yeah, that's all for this video. In the fourth part, I'm going to talk about the navigation. The navigation in the bottom, that which is also known as footer, and in that we are going to add some description, some details of the music producer and their other things about them. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.